Did you all see that Avatar 2 trailer that went live not too long ago? It's absolutely crazy to see it actually be announced after people waited over 12 years for a sequel. I mean, how often do you hear about a sequel that actually comes out after having been suspended for over a decade? To be fair, I wasn't really all that excited for a sequel anyway. I watched the original movie twice or so, and I could not for the life of me remember what the hell it was about. After discussing it with my close circle of friends, it seems I'm not alone on this. I do vaguely remember not being all that into it that much. And yeah, I know. YouTuber guy has controversial opinion or whatever. It's funny, every couple of years I get the urge to watch certain movies that I like, such as Karate Kid, Back to the Future, and even movies like those in the MCU or Harry Potter. The thought of rewatching Avatar has never really crossed my mind, and it didn't really help that they decided to re-release the movie after they lost the title for highest grossing film to Endgame, and they were just so desperate to get it back. I don't know, something about that just rubbed me the wrong way. There was a moment when I was watching the trailer that I thought to myself, hey, maybe there is some merit behind all this movie and that's why all these people like it. Or that's what it seemed like based off exclusively on the YouTube comments of the trailer. Outside of that, I haven't really heard anybody talk about the movie, so maybe it's some sort of bot situation going on. Anyway, I rewatched the movie in hopes that maybe I might understand the hype. I do think it's necessary to do a quick recap just to jog your memory, because if you're anything like me, then you haven't seen this movie in over a decade. I'm not going to go too in depth into the movie, but I do want to remind you that if for some reason you feel like I'm going to be spoiling this 12-year-old movie for you and you want to watch this movie on your own, then just be prepared to set aside 2 hours and 20 minutes of your time for this long ass movie. That's not even taking into account if you want to watch the extended version, which is over 3 hours. The movie follows a Marine named Jake Sully, played by Sam Worthington. Jakey boy is a dickhead since he's now a paraplegic due to a mishap where he lost his legs while serving his country. Yeet yeet, brother. Anyway, the man is just wasting away since he doesn't really have any purpose anymore and essentially spends his days getting drunk and beating the shit out of people in fights. One day, his twin brother dies and he's told he has to finish his mission for him. And I'm just curious, but is that a thing? Can militias really do that? It seems kind of unconstitutional to me. Anyway, he gets cryogenically frozen and awakens a few years later on the planet of Pandora. Essentially, the company he's working under is there to obtain a super valuable material named unobtainium, because I guess their diamond pickaxes aren't good enough and they need to upgrade? I mean, obviously not. It's for the money. It's always for the fucking money. Anyway, Jake's objective is to befriend the native humanoids called the Na'vi in order to convince them to leave their spiritual landmark called the Mother Tree, which is this big ass tree because the tree is sitting on a really big reserve of unobtainium. He has to essentially do this by full diving into a Na'vi avatar. Get it? Anyway, he has to approach the tribe and befriend them. Although he faces a lot of pushback from the tribe, he is eventually accepted. The closer he gets to his objective, the more he realizes that what humans are doing is bad. Yeah, I know. We are the bad guys, just fucking everything up for everybody else. Who would have thought? Throughout this, he eventually learns how to communicate with the planet and how to tame animals to use as mounts. And this is extremely similar to how they have sex. Yeah, this is probably one of the weirder parts of the movie. When he's about to complete his objective, the militia attacks the tree and several Na'vi lose their lives. Fucking dickheads. Jake heads out with his belt, Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana, to get help from the other tribes to help defeat the humans and prevent them from destroying the planet even further. The Na'vi wage war against the humans and it goes really bad. Like, they get farmed bad. And just as all seems lost, the mother goddess that they worship, Awa, helps them. I didn't mention this earlier. Jake kind of asked Awa for help earlier. I feel like I should have mentioned that. Anyway, all the species on Pandora come to help them, which turns the tide in battle. They end up winning the war and kick most of the humans off of the planet. Jake and all his friends are allowed to stay. The movie ends with Jake's consciousness being transferred to his Na'vi avatar, and as Jake opens his eyes, the credits start rolling. Now, what did I think? It was okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, visually it's very impressive, especially when you take into account that the movie came out over a fucking decade ago. I just feel like some things dragged on for too long, while some of the more important plot points weren't explored enough. Cause I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but do they even explain how Jake lost the use of his legs? Also, there were some scenes that were cut out of the theatrical version that I sort of feel were important. to the movie. Like how Jake begins to disregard his true body as he becomes more attached to his avatar, or how they show him wasting away at the beginning. Also, there's this deleted scene where they show Sigourney Weaver's character, Dr. Grace Augustine. She was teaching the Na'vi, and I guess the humans came in and essentially killed them all. One of the Na'vi who dies was Neytiri's sister, so that kind of explains why she was so aggressive towards humans. Feels like an important thing to leave out, but at the same time, leaving it in kind of makes everything confusing, because why would they continue to try to build a relationship with the Na'vi if they're just gonna go ahead and kill them again? Honestly, my biggest issue with the movie is that it is unnecessarily long. It looks nice, but I don't get it. I can't tell what's so great about it. Maybe it's that it has this star-studded cast and that's the reason people love it. I mean, it has the aforementioned actors as well as Michelle Rodriguez. I do want to mention that I think it's kind of funny that the movies that I remember Zoe Saldana for have her playing an alien, and then Sigourney Weaver became famous for killing aliens. And then on the other hand, you just have Michelle Rodriguez out here bringing Fast and the Furious vibes to Pandora. Admittedly, the movie has left a somewhat positive impression on me. It's not an overwhelmingly positive one, but it definitely is a negative. I can to some extent understand why people like it, although I am a little worried about the sequel because of the amount of times it's been postponed, so hopefully it turns out good. I'd say it's worth a check. It's on Disney Plus if you want a quick refresher. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can catch all my future videos. As always, this has been Subtly Artistic. Peace out.